Hello everyone, my name is Nex, and today I am going to show you a very simple and quite possibly the currently most efficient design for a mob spawner farm for zombies and skeletons in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Now for this design I have taken into consideration several new mechanic changes that have occurred in the past updates, and that means that this will most likely outspeed most previous designs that have been present for Bedrock Edition. Now I have taken into consideration new changes, and those have been confirmed by code digging, so it will be guaranteed to work as expected. Now this is a very standard mob spawner farm, just like you know it, but in order to maximize the speed and still keep it very simple, I have done some tweaks. So just like most mob spawner farms, there's a collection system where the spawner is, and it will of course all funnel them into a bubble column where they end up next to the player, where they can be killed either manually or with a Trident killer. I will not be showing that, but I have a very simple Trident killer design myself on my channel, and yeah, so this is a pretty standard mob spawner farm design. Now this mob spawner farm design uses the so-called sand pushers to quickly funnel the skeletons into the kill chambers. And because we are using those sand pushers, which by the way I have a video on explaining them, we can quickly funnel the skeletons into the kill chamber without them hanging out too much within the detection range of the spawner. Now the spawner will detect mobs in a 17x9x17 box centered on the spawner. However, because in Minecraft, depending on coordinates, they may be imprecisions, so floating point imprecisions, you know the deal. It might get different, so it should probably be more like 19x19, and that is why I have done here. I have increased the distance between this bubble column and the spawner to make sure that the mobs probably get put outside of the detection range as quickly as possible. And that is what this farm is all about. We use the sand pusher, which as you can see instantly funnels the skeletons into the bubble column once they do end up from the water stream in this little trench, and that makes sure that this spawner farm is very efficient. Now I could of course be using sand pushers instead of water streams as well, but this has several disadvantages, notably that it is expensive and it is laggy, so this is not much of a decrease in efficiency anyway. As you can see, the sand pusher at the bottom, the single one, is very low lag, and it also helps quite a bit with efficiency instead of water streams. Also, since it directly pushes the mobs into the bubble column, it means that the mobs won't get stuck on the block between the water stream, if there were to be one, and the bubble column, because of course you have to have some form of button or sign to prevent the water from the bubble column from flowing out everywhere. And since we also don't use any of that, and we use the sand pushers to instantly push them in, we also don't use any ice in this design, which is pretty convenient. So, spawners will check for mobs inside a 17x9x17 box centered on the spawner, and if there are too many mobs within that detection box, then the spawner will stop spawning mobs. So that's why we get them out of here quickly. And if the check does succeed, and if there is less than the full cap of mobs within the detection range, it will take about 200 to 800 game ticks, which is 10 to 40 seconds for the spawner to spawn more mobs. And yeah, so that is why we have this very efficient. Now RufusAtticus, a fellow exploits player, has been code digging a bunch, and the information that I have said before has been confirmed in the code. So this is not just based on testing, this is also based on code, which is pretty good. And yeah, overall this makes for a very simple and very efficient mob spawner farm. Also, if you are wondering about this piece of glass right here, this is just to make sure that if mobs do spawn right on top of the spawner, that they get pushed off instantly. This is a mechanic that exists in Bedrock Edition. If mobs spawn with their heads inside of glass, their spawning gets offset, and that is a very cool mechanic because it allows us to have a proper system that allows maximum efficiency without having any tripwire and water and whatnot, like for example in Java Edition. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Alright, so there's not much more you need to know. This works with skeletons and zombies, and I will probably be putting a tutorial out on making a drowned conversion circuit for this farm soon too, but I would say that we get into building this. So those are the materials that you're going to need for this simple spawner mob farm. And to keep in mind that most of the materials, if they have another type, can be easily replaced. For example, stone brick stairs, you can go with wooden stairs or whatnot. Yeah, this is pretty simple. So first step you're going to want to do is light up your spawner, remove the chests or whatever, and get rid of your skeletons or zombies. Now you can just of course throw this away since I'm creative. And when you do have it lit up, you are going to want to do the following. So as I have shown before, the room of this spawner is built in a diamond shape. This is because on Bedrock edition, the mobs spawn in a diamond shape around the mob spawner and not a cube. And so we're just going to make a little diamond shape out of this room. As you can see, I took out those right here. And we're just going to fill those in like that. And that way we're going to have a diamond shape of a mob spawner room. And that will be exactly what we need. So as you can see, it is a diamond shape and it goes out 4 on the cardinal directions. Now what you're going to want to do is dig down by 2. Now before you proceed, just grab your glass and place it on top like that. This is going to be the insta-push mechanic later, so that we're going to push off zombies and skeletons that spawn right on top of there. Now what you're going to want to do is decide on which side your kill chamber is going to be. So we're just going to make it go that way. So once you have decided that, just make a 2 deep trench facing, or rather pointing in the direction of the kill chamber. And once you got that, you can just take your signs and place 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this will be preventing the water that we were placing just now from flowing all the way over there. Now you are just going to want to take out these corner blocks on the bottommost layer. Don't remove the ones on the top. You could, but it's not necessary. And what we're going to do from there is just of course make ourselves a little infinite water source if we are in survival. So we could do just that and have an infinite water source to refill on water, but we don't really need that since we're in creative. We're just going to want to fill in the water all the way along this edge right here. And if you did everything correctly, all the water should be going straight like this. And then you can also do that on the other side as well. And this will be funneling the mobs into this lower trench. Now on the side opposite of where your kill chamber is going to be, so our kill chamber is going to be on that side. That's also where we place the signs on, and we're just going to go to the other side. So what you're going to want to do is dig 2 deep in, 2 down like this, so make sure that you're still like this, and place 2 pistons. Now on one of those you're going to want to place a stair, and on the other a slab. It is very important that you have upwards facing pistons under them, because otherwise the following will not work. We're going to make use of the sand pushers, and those require falling blocks to stay as falling blocks. And we're going to place 12 sets. So I just placed 1. Now we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there we go. Now what you can do is just place a temporary piston like this. Take one of your buttons, power it. As you can see, you will get pushed all the way back, but that's not really relevant. And you can break those for a second and place another piston on its backside. Push that one into place, and that will be your sand pusher setup. Now what you can do, since we have this push like this, you can remove this slab and this piston, and if you want you can place the slab back, and that will be just what we need. As you can see, it will look like this. Now what you're going to want to do is dig out some more. Just place 1 redstone dust right here. Get some of the salt blocks, although you would probably already have some if you dug out the space. Just place a torch on here, salt block, repeater, and if you do place the block on here, it will activate the clock, but it will make it a little hard for you to get back and do more stuff. So for the time being, we're just going to leave it like this. Now, actually what you can do is just close it off like this, and then quickly place 2 blocks, or I guess not. Quickly place 1 block and then 2 blocks. Okay, that won't really work, but what they're basically looking to do is just close this off properly. So looks like I actually did that. You're going to want to close it off because otherwise there might be a chance, although it is extremely low, for skeletons to get stuck in here, and that's something you don't want, and it looks cleaner. So as you can see, that will just push you all the way over there. Now the next step is fairly simple. You're just going to want to dig out and dig as far as this sand pusher will push you. So as you can see from here, it won't push you any further. So that's the block where you are going to want to place your soul sand, because that's exactly where the skeletons are going to be pushed into. And it will also make sure that it is the proper distance from the spawner to be outside of the detection range. Now you can just dig 2 through like this and place 1 solid block and 1 glass, and again a solid block, and this will be your little kill chamber. So we're just going to clear out some space right here, and yeah, just keep some space here so that you are not completely crammed in, and it's pretty practical. Now next up, you're just going to want to take 2 more buttons and place them like this. This is just to make sure that when we do place the water, that it does not flow on this side, and then again just place that stuff back. And you're going to want to go up by 21 blocks. So just dig yourself up some space. And what you're basically going to want to do is pillar up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And now go back in the direction of your kill chamber and dig a 2 wide space out. Button there, and a water source. Put it right where the button is. Now what you can do is just dig back down, and if done properly, it should just all connect with the soul sand at the bottom and make a bubble column. And if that does not work like it did just now, I have experienced this issue some before, you can break and place the soul sand back just like I did, and that will work. Now just simply dig down, and you will end up right where your kill chamber is, just like that, and just place that block back. Now there does not need to be any toggle, because, well, the sand pusher, it will not break upon unloading. However, if you want to turn off the spawning of the mob spawner, you can add a redstone lamp nearby, and that will stop the mob spawning. So our last step is just to remove the torches on the mob spawn itself. So for that, just dig through a little and then get up. So just like this. And if you are intelligent, I would just remove the torches on the back side of the spawner first, and afterwards the ones that face the side you came from. So just remove those 2 torches. And let's see, our settings are proper. So if we do remove this torch, the mobs will start spawning instantly. And now what you're going to want to do is just close this off completely. Alright, so as you can see, the mobs will already end up in your little kill chamber. And that's literally all it is. As you can see, that is the entire thing. So as you can see, this is a very humble killing system, so there is no Trident killer in place currently, but it is completely possible to put a Trident killer in place. In fact, I might even post a video on a 1x1 Trident killer, although 2x2 Trident killers will work fine as well, because the only real important thing is that the Trident killer is the same size or bigger than the drop shaft, and the drop shaft is 1x1, and that means that 2x2 Trident killers will work just fine. But yeah, they will take enough fall damage, and most of them will be 1-hit KO, so the armor ones might not be, but it's only a few more hits, so it's fine. Yeah, this is pretty much the entire thing. I think it's fairly simple, and it's also very, very efficient for a spawner farm. So this is pretty much it for this spawner farm tutorial, and it is fairly simple. So thanks of course to Only21 for the sand pusher technology, and RufusAtticus for some of the code digging. And yeah, this is pretty much everything I had to show. I hope you found this very useful. Make sure to subscribe, because I do post stuff like this very regularly, and I think you will find it very interesting. But with that being said, my name is Nex, and bye bye.